The terrible news is not just from Bihar but also from Jammu and Kashmir. A terrible day for our country, with 3 of our bravest killed in action in Anantnag: Colonel Manpreet Singh, Major Ashish Dhonchak and DSP Himayu Muzammil Bhatt. All extremely young and in the prime of their career. Killed when they came under fire during an operation in the Gadul forest of Kokarnag. Sources say that 2 terrorists of the Lashkar-e-Toiba are behind this attack, including Uzair Khan, a self-styled terror commander. Through the day-to-day exchange of fire was heard at the encounter site, and now quadcopters and drones have also been pressed into service. But Anantnag seems like a world away from Delhi and from Srinagar. Why? Because in Delhi and in Srinagar, the talk, strangely, is not about decimating, but about talking. Talking with who? Talking with the same people whose only USP, whose only reason for existence for decades has been sending in armed terrorists into India to kill and maim. Talking to the same Pakistan who has literally said from its very inception to now that they want to see the end of Bharat and the separation of Kashmir. But for some people, even now, talks are the supposed way forward with this very same पाकिस्तान.
और इसका मुझे अंत नहीं दिखता है. कहीं रजौरी में एनकाउंटर, कहीं और का एनकाउंटर रोज होते रहे, और हुकूमत रोज चिल्लाती रहती है कि मिलिटेंसी खत्म हो गई. अब बताइए मुझे, क्या मिलिटेंसी खत्म हो गई? ये खत्म नहीं होगी जब तक कोई रास्ता न ढूंढा जाए जिससे अमन आ सके. लड़ाई से अमन नहीं आता है, बातचीत से अमन आता है.
Mr. Farooq Abdullah and his dynasty and his family have ruled and governed and misruled Jammu and Kashmir for many years. They have been primarily responsible, their politics have been primarily responsible for decades of deprivation, decades of people of Jammu and Kashmir suffering from lack of rights, suffering from lack of economic opportunity, and suffering from the scourge of terrorism. So I think he is the least appropriate person to comment on what is right and wrong for the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
बीजेपी को झूठ का सहारा नहीं लेना चाहिए. ये तो प्रोपेगेंडा तो खूब जानते हैं. अब कश्मीर की आवाज़ ये है कि भाई यहाँ कत्ल-गारत जारी है, मासूम लोग मारे जा रहे हैं. कहना चाहिए हम पाकिस्तान के साथ अमन से रहना चाहते हैं और खून खराबा बंद होना चाहिए, और वो कहें कि हम पाकिस्तान से बात करना चाहते हैं, और इन मिलिटेंट्स के साथ भी बात होनी चाहिए. आखिर बातचीत का दरवाज़ा खुलना चाहिए.
जब तक हम अलग थलग नहीं करेंगे पाकिस्तान को, नहीं तो उनके लिए बिजनेस एज नॉर्मल. हाँ जी ठीक है, बॉलीवुड वाले आ जाएंगे हमारे यहाँ, क्रिकेट मैच खेलने वाले आ जाएंगे हमारे यहाँ, सब ठीक है, चंगा है जी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. वही मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अगर उसके ऊपर दबाव डालना है तो उसको अलग थलग करना पड़ेगा. उनको पता चलना चाहिए कि आप नॉर्मल चीज़ों के अंदर हमारे साथ रिश्ता तब तक नहीं कर सकते जब तक आप खुद नॉर्मल नहीं हो.
That Pakistan would seek talks with India is hardly surprising. They will clutch at any straw to get some legitimacy in an environment where they are largely seen as collapsing and a danger for the entire world. But what is the compulsion of those asking for India to hold talks soon after Pakistan-sponsored and trained terrorists have killed 3 of our soldiers? Is this because of a general disconnect with the sentiment across the country? Or is it about their domestic politics? Or is it about some other affinity? Amit Raina, activist, joins us along with Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, former DG Infantry. Also with us is Ifra Jan, spokesperson of the National Conference, and Irfan Hafiz Loan, who is a lawyer. Ifra Jan, I want to start by asking you, can you state an instance of when talking with Pakistan has actually helped us, and how you think carrying out talks with them now, when, by the way, they don't even have a proper government, they have a caretaker prime minister, is going to help us in any way? Ifra Jan, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. when the Prime Minister of our country, Padmaja Joshi, was running a road show and you had flowers and petals being showered upon him, this is a question that should have gone to the Prime Minister, that what is the future strategy of our country going to be in the face of recurrent attacks on the sovereignty of our country. Instead, you're asking this question to Dr. Farooq Abdullah, who at 6 in the morning left to go and meet the father of and family of Humayun Butt. He met to console his father, the DSP who was martyred yesterday. So you're making Dr. Ask this question after you've asked this question to the Prime Minister of this country.
Well, the Prime Minister is not here, so I can't ask him the question. I will ask Amit Raina the question. However, since Dr. Farooq Abdullah has asked that we should hold talks, I can ask you, a representative of the National Conference, why would you want to talk to a country that is sending people to kill you? Like you said, the attack was an attack on the sovereignty of our country. Who has carried out this attack? Who has carried out this attack?
How long do you intend to keep asking these questions to the opposition members of this country is my question.
Till the time that they keep suggesting that we begin talks.
This is what he has not said. When do we start asking questions to the government, to the Prime Minister? Has anybody from the BJP visited the house of Humayun Butt? Has any minister visited his house? Should the Prime Minister, the first thing that the Prime Minister have done not been that he should have taken a flight and visited the...
Ma'am, I'm going to ask this question right away, but would you care to answer a question about what your own party patron has said? Are you distancing from it? Are you saying it's immaterial? Because this is a very senior leader from Kashmir saying the way out is to start talks. How exactly is it a way out to start talks?
As long as your question on what Dr. Farooq, a member of the opposition, has said, it's very simple. If talks are not the solution, then what is the solution? We want the government to tell us. If you're saying that talks are absolutely not the solution, then how do we stop it? That is the question. हमारे बच्चे मर रहे हैं ना, हमारी लाशें बिछाई जा रही है ना, आप ही हमको सॉल्यूशन बताइए. आप कहते हैं टॉक सॉल्यूशन नहीं है तो नहीं है सॉल्यूशन. फिर क्या है सॉल्यूशन? और जो सॉल्यूशन है उसको इंप्लीमेंट क्यों नहीं कर रही सरकार?
I, as an answer, just want to quote to you some of the figures which were given in a parliamentary answer of where incidents of stone pelting, incidents of cross-border attacks, incidents of infiltration and incidents of civilian killings stand today vis-a-vis 5 years ago.
Narratives that are being built up. If everything was hunky-dory, what is happening in Rajouri? What happened yesterday? You have encounters happening every day. You keep harping on stone pelting. Rajouri mein kab encounter hua tha? We have encounters happening in Rajouri. Please tell me if talks are not the solution. My question to the BJP spokesperson is, what is the solution and why is it not being implemented by the government of this country?
Okay, 2 questions that Ifra Jan has asked, and I will just put out that data. What is the solution, Amit Raina? But before that answer, is it proper? Ifra Jan is saying that you are attacking Farooq Abdullah for seeking talks, but you are saying nothing about celebrations happening on a day when 3 men in uniform had been killed.
Our country is under threat. Our sovereignty is being violated.
See, for 70 years, we have tried this talk diplomacy with Pakistan. You went and signed Indus Water Treaty. That was the water diplomacy, and it resulted in 65 war. Then you went and did the cricket diplomacy. You had trouble in Punjab and in Kashmir. Then you went and did the bus diplomacy. You had attack at Kargil. Then you went and did biryani diplomacy, and you had attack at Pathankot. So the diplomacy, the talk diplomacy, has always failed. What happens is that every time Pakistan executes a big terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir, it instructs its overground workers and its SILs to get up and use this opportunity to pressurize Indian government to speak to them. So what you saw Dr. Abdullah doing was nothing. He was getting himself activated as an overground worker of Pakistan and trying to use this opportunity to force the government of India to speak to Pakistan. Now, what is the solution? Ifra Jan asked. The solution is exactly what we did in 1971, because we need to realize that whatever you do, the Pakistan will continue to ferment trouble in Jammu and Kashmir, because Jammu and Kashmir is the reason of the existence of the deep state of Pakistan. Jammu and Kashmir is the reason the politicians of Pakistan make money with. Jammu and Kashmir is the reason that gets votes to the people, to the politicians of Pakistan. So you will have to dismember Pakistan if you want Kashmir to be solved. The first step is you get back Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, get it merged because it's our legitimate right, it's our legitimate land. Then you repeat what you did in 1971, because unless and until you do not finish off Pakistan, the problem in India and especially in Jammu and Kashmir will continue, and the overground workers of Pakistan will continue to shout from the rooftop.
Ifra Jan, you spoke of the solution. How many were the number of terror attacks that took place pre-2019? Just a second, ma'am, I'm giving you a chance to speak again. Here is actual data, it's no narrative. In 2019, 163 terrorists were killed. 2022, 32 terrorists were killed. 2021, 193. 2022, again 193. And so far in 2023, 50 terrorists have been killed. To say that by abrogation of Article 370, Pakistan would stop sending terrorists is to ask for the impossible. But what the solution is that the more they send, the more we kill. How is that going to be in any way complemented by talking to the people whose terrorists we are killing right now?
You see, you're constantly asking me the same question, and I'm saying that if what suits Pakistan the best thing that suits Pakistan is a government that is busy in road shows, and it's a government that is not busy in answering them back. Right now, the BJP government is busy in a road show in Madhya Pradesh. That suits the Pakistani government the best. When they keep attacking our country, our government is doing tamashas. It's celebrating G20 in Delhi. Is that the solution?
You don't think killing terrorists is the answer to Pakistan?
Government, why are they sitting and not doing anything? What is the way forward? That is what we are asking. हमारी लाशें बिछाई जा रही हैं. हिमायूं जो डीएसपी था, हमारे ही घर का एक लड़का था, मेरे गांव का लड़का था, मेरे साथ रहता था, मेरे गांव का लड़का था त्राल का. And when we see
actually
our friends
3 people
dying,
have been killed.
What is the solution?
Ma'am,
like,
with the greatest of respect, of course you're talking about Humayun Bhatt. We respect him, we salute him, but 3 soldiers died.
How does it stop, Padmaja Ji?
Please also talk about Colonel Manpreet Singh.
Doing road shows?
He was also killed in action by the terrorists. Major Ashish was also killed in action.
Stops doing road shows.
At least please do not sit here and try and divide people who have died in the line of fire. Equally, Colonel Manpreet Singh has also been killed by the same people who you're advocating talks with, ma'am.
Ma'am, what I'm saying is, what is the solution? I don't know. Amit Raina ji is saying dismember them. 10 years have passed. Why aren't we doing it? 10 years of BJP government has passed.
Do you not think stopping terror recruitment is the solution? Do you not think stopping infiltration is the solution? Do you not think killing off the terrorists who they send is the solution?
Why are such attacks still happening? Why are our people and our soldiers still dying?
Okay, General Sanjay Kulkarni, for 4 years, for 5 years, people like Ifra Jan have seen the consequences of abrogation of Article 370. She says this clearly is not working because terror attacks continue, soldiers continue to die. Maybe it's time to change tack and talk to Pakistan. That could be a better way forward. Otherwise, give a better solution.
Padmaja, definitely not. In Pakistan, whom do we talk to? That's the first question. Because we've been talking to Pakistan over the years, nothing has fructified. You see it in 1971, what did Bhutto say? He took away 93,000 prisoners of war, saying he would resolve the issue. He did nothing. After that, you found all kinds of military rulers, they did nothing. If we had even spoken to Musharraf, and you know what happened after that in Kargil. So there's no one reliable, and Pakistan uses terrorism as an instrument of state policy. And after the abrogation of Article 370, the resistance front, which is nothing but an offshoot of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, sponsored by Pakistan and supported by the Pakistan government, have been doing on social media, entire recruitment, entire thing, brainwashing the people. So until and unless the people who are staying there in South Kashmir now, well, the North Kashmir is along the LOC, the infiltration is stopped, the ceasefire in place, whatever extent it is, the infiltration to a large extent is stopped. But now the kind of people who are coming in maybe from Nepal, Punjab into Jammu, going into Rajouri, Punj, all this brainwashing is going on the social media. And the resistance front has accepted that they are the ones responsible for it. Who are these resistance front? There are people from Pakistan supporting the people, locals who are there. So these locals also, whoever, now like the panelist is wanting to know by talking to Pakistan the thing will be resolved. Definitely not. You think Pakistan is going to accept that they are the ones who are spreading terrorism? What are you going to be talking to Pakistan? Pakistan does nothing but spread terrorism. Unless the mindset of the people over there, how do you think these terrorists are surviving in the forest, in the dense forest over there? This is the same place that Burhan Wani was also shot at. And you know what happened thereafter? After he was shot, he was seen as a great hero of the people over there. So until and unless the mindset of the people staying there, 95% of the people today have accepted that yes, abrogation of Article 370, normalcy has been restored in Kashmir. That is why you had lakhs and lakhs of tourists over there. The Amarnath Yatra has been a success. People going there have actually come back happy back from there. But Pakistan will continue to do it primarily because Pakistan cannot accept, hum to doobe sanam, tumhe bhi le doobenge. That's the way Pakistan works at, because economically it is shattered. It doesn't have, it feels isolated the world over. Nobody is wanting to give money to it other than its friend China, which is again at the behest of China. Pakistan does what it wants to do in India. So all this is, but talking to Pakistan is worthless because Pakistan is not the solution. The solution to a large extent, Pakistan is only trying to ferment this trouble because there are about 5% people still in the valley who desire this kind of a thing. And then you have politicians from the valley wanting to say, well, everything can be done. Why not they change their mindset? It would be much better if they went about winning the hearts and minds of their own people, telling them, do not indulge in it.
Ifra Jan, you're talking about a solution. Look at what has happened in the last decade. After India stopped talking to Pakistan, globally there has been a recognition that there is a problem. That country is a problem, not just for India, but for the entire globe. They have got FATF sanctions on them. They have been on the grey list for the longest time. They have their economy being squeezed. And now, by reaching out to them again or proposing that we reach out to them again, do you not think that this process will again be derailed, where again they will say, we are a legitimate country and we deserve the world's attention and more importantly, the world's finances? To make Pakistan redundant is the solution to stop Pakistan-based terror.
Ma'am, at this point, Pakistan, I assure you, Pakistanis looking at our Prime Minister in a road show, having petals and flower petals showered upon him, I assure you they are at peace. The only thing we need in this country, in our country, is a strong government that has a solution to fight them back. That is not, the entire government is not busy in either in a wild park on a safari, or they're not busy. We should have had the entire cabinet visit the house of the slain DSP in the morning. That would have been the first message to Pakistan, that we stand with the DSP.
Okay, since you're referring to it again and again, Amit Raina respond. Ifra Jan says just the very sight of a political rally after the death of 3 soldiers will put the Pakistanis at peace. All your chest beating aside. Respond to that.
Look at the way the glee is there over the martyrdom 3 soldiers have attained. I'm telling you that the 2 political parties, regional political parties of Jammu and Kashmir, are nothing else but representatives of Pakistan and Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, what happened yesterday probably can be called insensitive, and Babu rolled heads need to be rolled for not informing the Honorable Prime Minister of what has happened in Kashmir. And it's for the BJP to answer what happened yesterday, was it right or wrong. But you cannot be talking to Pakistan when 3 of our soldiers have attained martyrdom. Someone needs to apologize to this nation for such insensitive, for such cruel remarks. ये बेशर्मी की हद होती है कि आप इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि कब हमारे लोग मरें और आप पाकिस्तान की तूती बजाना शुरू कर दें, बात करें। क्यों बात करें? किस लिए बात करें और किससे बात करें? Why should we speak to Pakistan? Will they stop sending terrorists? Have they stopped sending terrorists? Not even once. We have lost more than 2,000 Jammu Kashmir police personnel. All of them being residents of Jammu and Kashmir. Have you asked Pakistan to stop? Have you even condemned? Has Farooq Abdullah even condemned Pakistan today for the attack that has happened yesterday, for the martyrdom of 3 soldiers that has happened? Has Farooq Abdullah even condemned that?
देखिए, पहली बार डॉक्टर फारूक आप कह रहे हैं why should we talk to Pakistan? Don't talk to them. At least visit the house of the slain DSP. Only Dr. Farooq Abdullah visited the house. उसकी 30 साल की बेटी को गोद में तो उठाओ. आप लोग तो रोड शो कर रहे हो. कम से कम शहीदों के घर तो जाओ. उनके घर वालों के आंसू तो पहुंचो. इतना तो हमारी सरकार कर सकती है ना. सिर्फ वहां डॉक्टर फारूक अब्दुल्ला क्यों पहुंच जाते हैं? डॉक्टर फारूक अब्दुल्ला तो उनकी बेटी को सहला रहे थे, उनको चुप करा रहे थे, उनके घर वालों के आंसू पहुंच रहे थे. क्या हमारी सरकार को ये नहीं करना चाहिए?
Ma'am, you are not answering the basic question. By all means, you please visit the family. The whole country is with these families. But is anyone calling out the originators of the problem? You are engaging in cosmetic activities, but are you focusing on where the root of the problem lies? Instead of saying that strike out the root of the problem, Irfan Hafiz loan, you are saying let's water this poison ivy.
See, Padmaja, dialogue leads to talks. So it behoves to a democracy to talk about talks. Because I believe democracy is beyond elections. Dialogue, institution of dialogue needs to be strengthened. And this dialogue is intrinsic to democracy. If India is a functional democracy, then we must strengthen the institution of dialogue. Because we must be very clear on it that it is, history is witness to this fact.
No.
That dialogue leads ultimately to
You talk to people who matter. Tomorrow you will be saying that America should have spoken, had a little dialogue with Osama bin Laden instead of bombing the living daylights out of him. You don't do a dialogue with everyone. You do a dialogue with people who listen. You do a dialogue with people who matter. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it at this. Remember, the operation is still ongoing. The politics, the optics can all wait, but the larger problem needs to be addressed, and the way it is being addressed, if that is politicized, that in itself turns into a cancer. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, Ifra Jan, for joining me. It started